Hello there and welcome back to X-Wing Sweden. And today we're going to have a look at the semi-final from the regional in Linköping. Um, so on the right you have Archibald, which you've seen in the previous game as well. If you looked at the top 8 game, so he's flying triple defenders, Vessery, and 2 Glaive Squadron pilots, and they all have crack shot on the TIE X7 title. And he's facing off against Mike Howard here, who is flying the dual Shadowcaster list, and he's got Asajj Ventress with Push the Limit, Lats Razzie Crew, Rigged Cargo Sheet, Black Market Slicer Tools, and Countermeasures. And then he's got Ketsu on you with VI, Dengar Crew, Inertial Dampeners, Glitter Stem, Engine Upgrade, and the Shadowcaster title. The overlay here will update as we go along here, as you can see. But the first round of the game is on here. You can see the double Shadowcasters up at the top left. And Archie is turning away from the straight joust with his defenders, which is something you'd not normally see defenders do unless they feel we have a good lane here to go down and then K-turn into, or hard turn to get some rock cover. The X7 defenders are very survivable. I mean, you could tank one torpedo or missile normally and still not be terrified for a second one. But I think he wants to avoid the rocks. He doesn't want Ketsu's ability to auto-trigger at range 1, and so she rolls one of the defenders onto a rock, as well as reducing its agility here. So I think he wants the fight taking place at the right half of the map here, where there are less rocks, and in the top and bottom corners, more or less. Look like they're like 2.5 and from the sides, or maybe 2 from the sides. So I don't think it's in Archie's best interest to actually go for them straight away. The Shadowcasters are quick, so they can catch the defenders here. But if they catch them, in the open space, the defenders will hit back as hard as the Shadowcasters hit. So the Shadowcasters moved up quickly along this board edge. And we have a boost as well, setting up easier approach there between those rocks. But if the defenders either hard 3, they could potentially set up a nice bump there. I think this is this is Ketsu, because there is no engine on Asajj. I mean, a hard 3 in there means that if Ketsu goes really fast, that's going to be a bump. Okay, it's going to get a free shot with the Ketsu here, and it might be range 2. So if she hits, the title, the Shadowcaster title, will trigger, and he could potentially barrel roll one of those defenders onto the rock there. But I think the tokened up defenders should be fine here, even with 3 hits. I mean, yeah, 1 blank and you still evade everything. So the defenders are safe there. Next turn, so the question is, do we do the 4Ks or do we do the hard 3s? He's decided to do the 4K with this guy. So the question is the back glaive. You could hard turn 3 in there, try to set up a bump on Ketsu. The thing is, do you really want to do that due to the Shadowcaster title? The arc is pointing at the front, so anything, if Ketsu bumps with her front, you can always barrel roll them away with the tractor beam effect. So I think the K-turning is the better choice. The question is, of course, do you have arc here when the Shadowcaster comes in? I mean, a 3-bank boost will take Ketsu out of the fight, and then she can't shoot, so she needs to either stay put and swivel her arc, or try not to engage. I don't think not engaging is a good call. And the next turn, the defenders could potentially 4K again, depending on what the Ventress does here. I mean, if Ventress just keeps going along the board edge, she will be prime target for the defenders next turn. It looks like she is. Unless this is a K-turn, and I might kind of figure out I need not to get caught in the corner. But I think that was a straight move. That means the defenders will catch her next turn. There is nowhere she can go. She's going to try to take a target lock, and let's see if they're in range or not. Looks very far, but might just clip the corner of the base. We'll see if they put down the target lock or not. No target locks and no shots from or against Ventress this turn. Now this is an interesting move here. Is this like just a one bank in, or maybe a really quick move, a three bank? If it is a three bank, she will need to... Oh, she's just doing the one straight. Okay, I think that's a good call. It also allows her to help Ventress next turn. You know, a normal one. Oh no, he's boosting. Okay. Trying to avoid as many arcs as possible and potentially trigger the tractor beam on the back defender there. So yeah, it's a good move this turn. The question is it good enough? Because next turn Ketsu is out of the fight. She might go one straight and just turn the arc to the back to maybe help Ventress, but there's a hard 2 to the left. Will there then be room for another hard 2? I'm not really sure. I think, well, staying put where you were before might have been the better move, just to make sure you could support Ventress the next turn. But then you're going to end up with one big cluster F in that top corner if both of the Shadowcasters go there. Okay, so since he only has one action, he decides to pop Glitter Stim here on Ketsu, and I assume that's a good idea. And now he's going to trigger the tractor beam. Well, it doesn't really matter where you move it, because it's still going to shoot back at you, unless you barrel it to the right, but then you won't get the shot either. So maybe shoot now, hope to trigger the tractor beam, and barrel it to the right later, and maybe get it so it can shoot back. But I mean, it's still a tokened up defender here. Even if it's lost one green, it could potentially just evade everything. You just need one blank on your red attack die from Kitsu here. I mean, this is an okay barrel, I think. I mean, it's still going to just be a 3 bank to the right, probably, next turn with that defender, after the other ones have moved. Okay, so we have Ketsu shooting into that defender, so 4 on 2, but still only one blank is all you need to potentially don't do any damage. But it looks like he actually got 4 hits with the Glitter Stim, and he blanks out. So that's good for Mike here. That's 3 shields down. Sorry, on that defender. Now you could add the second tractor beam, but you can't barrel it again or boost it, so there's really no point because there's no other ships shooting. And then we have a 4 dice back here with a focus still, so this could hurt. Ooh, look at that. Okay, it was a cock die, but it still got 4 symbols. You do have Glitter Stim on defense as well here, but he blanks out. So 4 shields down, or 3 shields and 1. So, who was a crit? And he got the Pilot Skill 0 card, a crit. So she's now moving first, and he needs to go quick to clear the stress here. So that barrel wasn't the best option now, but you couldn't really know that. So even if you lost 3 shields on that defender, I think this is an exchange Archie is very happy with, because now Kitsu will move first, which means the tractor beam effect will be difficult to trigger due to Archie moving his defenders and then potentially barreling out of our range or arc. And he's set up for a perfect catch on Ventress in the corner, or K-turns, but I'm assuming he's going to go 3 bank to the right, getting Ketsu out, and then maybe K-turning next turn. Yeah, I mean, she can't take 1 round more of punishment like this. If she tries to stay close and the defender's K-turn, they could potentially pilot skill kill her. So that was a really horrible crit from Mike here. So the question is, yeah, he's going to flip that one. Maybe you're going to have a range 3 shot on one of those defenders. And now then, do you K-turn the top red defender, the glaive, and then move the other ones 3 straight, trying to block Ventress, because taking away push the limit for her, only having, I think he's doing a 5 straight, yeah, potentially blocking almost any move. I guess a straight one will still fit, but then there probably won't be any room to turn around. And you could potentially use this guy to target lock here for Vessery, because Ventress is most likely going to hit this guy. Because if the other one moves up behind, there is no room for the hard 3, which means it will be bumped all the way back. Yeah, good call from Archie there. And then there's the 4 straight. And then there's going to be a 3 bank here. Maybe a 3 straight. Yeah, a 3 bank. Because this also sets up a nice K-turn next turn for this guy. Oh, he decides to go all out on the offense here and target lock with this guy as well, despite this one being down to only its hull. It's a shame now that the lighting is so bad here that we can't really see what's happening, but we are assuming that this is a bump, I guess. Yeah, important to note here, as they're figuring out on the overlay here, is like Mike is at 99 points because Ventress is the same pilot skill as all these defenders, and Archie has initiative, or was given initiative, which also means the defenders will shoot first. And it looks like he actually got past the defenders for no bump, which is both good and bad here for Mike because he does get his double actions. However, he's also going to be taking damage or fire from all 3 defenders. He's going to stress one of them for some damage mitigation, but this is potentially going to be, you know, a half-pointed Ventress in one round. I think this was a very good move by Archie, going down his forward, K-turning and then turning back. And I think if Mike had turned in with Ventress in the round before, instead of going down to the corner, you know, he'd had an out with her, going straight and then hard turning 3 between the 2 center rocks. Easy to see now, though. It's all easier after the fact. So there's a lot of discussion about stress and stuff here, and which cards. I assume Ventress is popping her countermeasures here. That's why one of those target locks got taken. Oh my god. Vessery just decides to, I'm just going to do all symbols here and then get my target lock for next turn. And then he's probably going to spend the yeah, why not? I mean, Vessery is untouched. Yeah, because of countermeasures. I mean, not even if this would have been Time Walk Visage here with Lone Wolf, you'd still take damage. You have 2 defenders at range 1 and 1 at range 2. And this is not Lone Wolf Visage, which means that blank is a blank. And he has 1 focus, I guess, and 1 evade. That's my assumption here on Ventress's actions, because what we can't really see. Okay, he's going to use his evade, so 2 evades as a total. He still has his focus left, 2 shields off of Ventress. And then he crack shots, so a 3rd one goes through, so no shields on Ventress. Crack shot is especially good against Ventress because, you know, it kind of nullifies the lat screw on the guy who is stressed, and it's just an added bonus for the other guys. And this is the other one at range 1. This one does not have target lock, I think. So he's using the stress from the defender there. Yeah, so the question is, I think he has 1 evade. He's 2 evades and a focus. So if he spends the focus, there's not going to be a crack. If he doesn't spend his focus, there will be a crack and 1 damage. So he's going to spend his focus to get 1 more evade than he needs, just to avoid the crack. There might have been a crit, which could have been the reason you do that. And then we have the range 2 defender here. He's going to spend his target lock for 2. And I'm not really sure how much damage she took, but we're into a haul on Ventress here, as well as on Kitsu, so neither of them might be at half points yet, but you know, he has spent his glitter stem on Kitsu, and he has spent his countermeasures on Ventress. Yeah, that's why the front defender didn't reroll for a target lock, because countermeasures took it off. Which is of course why Archie decided to target lock with both glaives, to make sure he had target lock on Vesser as well. Good play there, Archie. So just 2 damage onto the defender, which is easily evaded. So we have one defender is at 3 hull, which is this guy here, who is going to be shot at range 3, and he still has an evade from Ketsu. Dengar reroll for potentially 3. One might sneak through here. So, I mean, statistically you should get 1 damage pushed through here. No, but you get 4 dice, maybe not. Yeah, he looks like he spent the evade as well, so enough. He got two evades on the dice. And we're into a new turn, and this is looking good for the defenders. Kitsu will probably do a K-turn. No, she's coming around the rock down the corner instead. Well, either way works. And then the boost. So Kitsu's out of the fight for at least 1 round, depending on what the defenders do here, but I think we're going to have some K-turns by the red guy here, who is at 45 degrees. And the other guys could potentially just hard 3 away to come around there. Corner rock. Yep. And the question is, do you target lock for the future here, or do you just token up in case? I mean, Ventress will shoot at one of them. But if normally you're expecting the damaged one to be the one taking fire. But it looks like it tokened up. And now we do Vessery here, I assume, and this might be a 4K. It's hard for us to tell here due to the lighting. Yeah, it looks like a 4K, and the mat goes slightly above what we can see in the image here, so that is at no risk of going off. And then we're going to put Ventress back, and I think you already have a target lock for here, so you just token up with Vessery. I don't see any reason to actually barrel. Yeah, it takes focus evade. Yeah, and here's the 4K. And I am assuming that there's a hard 3 on Ventress, just to clear the stress, which will take her past this guy. And then she will be forced to swivel her arc if she wants to shoot this guy, which is the injured one. Because the arc is pointing towards her right. Or is he actually banking? Trying to get as much room or much distance away as possible? No, that has to be a hard 3, yeah. I don't think the bank would have kept him on the mat. So that's probably the best move as well for Mike there. And now you probably swivel the arc and take the evade. I mean, you do have push, but if you take 2 actions here, you can't shoot the guy at the back, and you can't stress him. If you swivel the arc, you get the stress effect for 1 evade, and then you take the evade action for the other one. Oh, he decides to drop the rig cargo. I mean, that's 1 stress, and he might also get 1 additional die for the shot from this defender being obstructed. Depends on the angle here. And who knows, he might get a lucky crit as well. You know, there's always 1 chance in 8 that the rig cargo should provide a crit. Only tends to happen when the ship it hits is at its last hit point, but you never know. Or at 2 when you get the direct hit. So I think that's going to be. I mean, if they're parallel, Archie can decide to shoot out to the outside of the debris. So first of all, let's see if there's any damage. No, that's just a normal hit. And there's a stress on that defender. And then we have potentially one more move. So I guess you keep the arc where it is, because if there's range 2 to Vessery, you can stress him as well. Yeah, he's deciding to swivel the arc to the back. Or maybe he had the arc pointing towards the front there. Difficult to say, but it's now pointing towards the back. So start of combat. One more stress, so that defender is not double stressed, which is bad for it next turn. But if he can just push enough damage into Ventress here, I don't think Archie mind if he, loses just one defender here, because the other ones, if he does enough damage to her, and then you can just shoot all whatever you have into Kitsu next turn, as she's particle 0. It's still a good exchange here, but Mike is doing everything he can to claw himself back here into the game. Which, of course, it should be a tense game at this level here in the semifinals. And these guys have been playing now. This is their 8th game in one day. There was not a 2-day event, so 6 rounds and then 3 rounds of the cut here. Target lock for 2. It might be 1 hit, 1 crit. So the crits. The crit sneaks through. I'm not really sure what it was, but we'll figure it out. Potentially take a stress. Looks like a stress marker. And then we have the other guy. So this guy's shooting at range 1. And 3 hits. And let's see, he rolled 3 defense die. Oh, of course he did, because he's shooting through the debris. Okay, and then he's going to use crack shot anyway. So either way, Ventress should now be at half points, which means Archie is in the lead. And then Ventress shoots back, and this should also be obstructed, which means it's going to be 4 green dice with focus and evade. Looks good from Ventress, and it looks equally good from from Archie there. So he evaded everything. And the last effect also means that the defender can now clear stress. But no, he can't, because he's going to probably go over the debris again. So he's going to get rid of 1 stress to get another one. But at least he gets to shoot here before anything happens, because Kitsu is particle 0. So there's a hard 2 or 3. 3. Rushing in. And he's going to use his... Yeah, he's got Dengar Crew, so why not? Well, maybe you do take the evader for survivability, because the defenders might decide to switch target now. Has a 3 hard from that guy. He's just trying to get back into the fight. And it's going to be a 4 straight from Vessery, who still has his target lock, I think. No, it's not. That's from the other one. But he will get the target lock. Yeah, the nacelle on that Star Trek ship is in the way, so they needed to remove the defender model to fit it in. And then this guy is going to do a 4 straight. Maybe a 3. Depends on how big the gap is between, behind Ventress. Or no, he's actually turning away. Okay, figuring if I can get enough distance here and Kitsu can't shoot or tractor beam me, there's no risk that I'm going to die. So he's going to go over the debris again, and he doesn't really care if he bumps or not here or whatever, because he's stressed. Now he has double stress. see what happens. That's nice, so no damage. And then we have Ventress. So is this a 2 straight? Or a 2 bank? 2 straight. Clearing 1 stress. And we got a nice close-up of Mike's shirt. I didn't know it was legal to play in the next wing tournament and not wearing either a Star Wars t-shirt or a Squadron t-shirt, but I guess they let him in anyway. And that means there should be 1 stress left on Ventress here, so no actions on her part. So we have the defenders just keep shooting at her. He gets a target lock and then he spends his focus for 3. There is a stress on him, so there's a free evade here from the Lat's crew. And I think maybe those are eyes, maybe 1 evade. And I think this means yeah, they're measuring. I think that Ventress has just died. And I think Vesper still had crack shot left, so even if you'd used the stress token, the damage would have gone through, because Vesper would have used crack shot. So Ventress is probably shooting at the damaged TIE Defender running away without tokens. And let's see. 1 maybe snuck through. And don't think there's range from Ketsu. Nope, just out of range. And Ventress is indeed off the board, so it's 3 defenders. 1 of them is pretty damaged. And versus the pilot skill 0 Ketsu, who is at, let's see, they have 10, so 6 hull point left she should have. Which means, well, she could potentially block the defenders here, but Ventress, or Vessery and the other glaive coming back into the fight, they're at different vectors, so you can't block them both. And I guess that rock could potentially scare them if she goes fast. But I think that's what Mike thinks that Archie is expecting, so he decides to go slow. Maybe think that he was trying to K-turn with Vessery to get past her. And if there is a K-turn here on Vessery, that's going to be perfect tractor beam range. Looks like a 3 straight. Which means he will get tractor beam, but he still gets to shoot and do some serious damage here. Because his friend coming in here will provide the target lock for him. Yeah, this guy has 3 bank. This was the guy I was figuring you could 3 bank with Ketsu and maybe set up a block to barrel him. But I don't think there is a rock close enough, so it wouldn't really matter. And then he takes the target lock here. So that's going to be 1 range 1 shot and 1 range 3 maybe into Ventress or into Ketsu before she gets to shoot, which in theory can kill her. So he tractors Vessery here, and oh, he gave it to his own ship, but of course he should be on Vessery. The question is, where do you, if you want to move the ship, where do you move it? So he's deciding him to do him slightly towards the center of the board. I don't know if there is potential for this mattering, because there's still going to be a 4K from Vessery next turn no matter what. I mean, you still have dampeners, so if you could barrel home him backwards a bit and block the 4K, That would have been an option, but there wasn't. That wasn't an option here. So range 1 from Vessery, getting the target lock from his friend. And 3. He spends the focus, which I think is a good call here because he could push so much damage through. But he did get some symbols. So 2 evaded, 1 should go in. And it's another crit, major hull breach. So next turn, everything that goes through are crits. Unless he flips it down. The other guy, range 2, maybe 3. I would say it's range 2, but what do I know? Target lock. And that looks like 3 hits. Which could kill her. No, he couldn't. She's at 2. 2 damage cards only. So he's going to spend his last crack shot here. 3. I think maybe Vesser still has crack shot. I'm not really sure. 3, 4, 5. So it should be at 1 hull left on Ketsu here. So let's see if Ketsu can do some damage. 2 hits. And they're still... Yeah, with Dangar she can do some damage here actually. Yeah, he rolled too many green dice due to the tractor beam, so he's gonna reroll. Same effect, 2 shields. Yeah, he did have an evade token there. He removed it on the initial roll, and then he realized I rolled 1 green too many, so let's do that again. Because I assume this is going to be the last turn of the game. Hard 3 trying to bump, but I think Archie can see this coming, and I think you dial in 4Ks on Vessery in that glaive, and you do the hard 3 with the glaive at the top. And there's no real good spot to boost to here. So you could go for the corner and then just prolong the inevitable for 1 turn. And yeah, I don't know, did he flip down the crit? If he's at 4 hull, who cares? Oh, we'll see. I mean, I guess Mike has realized that the game is over anyway, so I'm just going through the motions, finishing the game for the viewers' pleasure, and probably there's probably a few bit of onlookers around as well, staying to watch as the top 8 battle it out. And he provides the target lock for Vessery. And no, this guy's just running, okay. There's no reason, but you don't need to preserve MOV. I mean, why not do the hard 3 there? Well, same thing, Archie knows he's won this game, so potentially some kind of strange disaster. He blanks out on every die roll. You still have that one left in case the game goes to time, I guess. I don't know. So who shoots first here? Is it the range 1 shot? I mean, there are no defense tokens, so it doesn't matter. No, this is Vessery. Of course, Vessery shoots first to get his target lock, otherwise the target lock might be spent. And that's 3, which can't be evaded because you only have 2 green dice, and he blanks out. Good game, guys. Well done. Going top 4 for Mike and reaching the final for Archie here. Stay tuned, as the final will be coming up as well. And thank you for watching.
Dubbla källskott så borde vi. Ja, jag håller med om det faktiskt. Jag tror att jag känner på att du splittade upp. Ja, kanske. Jag tror att vi inte skulle gått så hårt med den från början. Jag fick ju ett gratis skott och ett hotshot som hade jag träffat med det så hade det varit en... Ja, när jag bussade fram så fick jag ett skott där inte skulle skjuta mig. Absolut. Nej, tack. Då slår du ut 3 väg. Inga feeder här. Inga feeder. Kallar du det? Feeder. Ja, givers. Ja, giver. Den tärningarna innan.